Hello everyone, I'm Mark. Welcome to MASA Military. After more than a year of high-intensity wars, the already weak Ukrainian Air Force has fewer and fewer aircraft capable of combat. Moreover, if Ukraine wants to defeat Russia, without air superiority, the losses of the ground troops will be even greater, so Ukraine urgently needs the support of fighter jets. As the West begins to aid main battle tanks, Ukraine also hopes to obtain Western fighter jets. Although there is news that France is training Ukrainian pilots and the United States is also testing the skills of Ukrainian pilots, the entire training cycle will be very long, and it may not be possible without half a year to a year. Although Western-manufactured fighter jets have advanced performance, they cannot be obtained in a short period of time, and the former Soviet Union's fighter jets can temporarily solve urgent problems. NATO member Slovakia took the lead in assisting Ukraine with the first batch of 4 MiG-29 fighter jets on March 23, and another 9 will be delivered in the next few weeks. Really, this is the first time that a NATO country has provided Ukraine with an entire fighter jet. Moreover, these MiG-29s in Slovakia have been upgraded to NATO standards, and Western avionics equipment has been installed to make it easier to launch NATO standard weapons. On April 5, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also visited Poland. Polish President Andrzej Duda announced that 4 MiG-29s have been handed over to Ukraine, and the other 4 are currently on their way to be delivered. The two sides are handing over the third batch of 6 negotiations on the MiG-29. Poland's MiG-29s have also been upgraded to fire AIM-120 medium-range air-to-air missiles. After the arrival of South Korea's Fa-50 fighter jets and American F-35 fighter jets, Poland plans to support another 14 upgraded MiG-29s for Ukraine. The assistance of these fighter jets can begin one after another as early as the end of 2023. In this way, all 28 MiG-29s in Poland's hands were given to Ukraine. Ukraine's Soviet-era fighter jets, including the MiG-29 and Su-27, have been modified. They can now launch the HARM anti-radiation missiles and JDAM bombs provided by the United States, greatly improving Ukraine's ground strike capability. It seems that the United States has basically mastered the method of modifying Soviet-made fighter jets to mount American-made ammunition, but in the face of a more powerful Russian Air Force and ground air defense forces, the Ukrainian Air Force urgently needs medium-range air-to-air missiles, such as the AIM-120. The performance of the MiG-29 is indeed inferior to that of the American F-16, but this kind of aircraft is the most familiar to Ukrainian pilots, and the MiG-29, assisted by Slovakia and Poland, have all undergone NATO standard modifications using Western avionics equipment, which also allows Ukrainian pilots to reduce some training time when they switch to Western fighters in the future. The MiG-29 was a medium-class twin-engine frontline fighter designed by the Soviet Union in the 1970s to pair with the higher-end Su-27. After the merger of East and West Germany, the pilots of West Germany had the opportunity to fly the MiG-29. Their evaluation is that the MiG-29 is a very good aircraft for close combat, and it can completely compete with the F-15, F-16, and F-18 compared to them. West German pilots were also impressed by the R-73 short-range air-to-air missiles equipped with the MiG-29. The off-axis launch angle of the R-73 could reach a maximum of 40 degrees, which was outstanding at the time. Of course, the AIM-9X Sidewinder, which was launched in the early 1990s, has an astonishing 90-degree off-axis launch angle. In addition, the turning performance of the MiG-29 is better than that of the F-16. The turning speed of the MiG-29 can reach 28 degrees per second, and the F-16 is 26 degrees per second. This turning speed is very important in close combat. Whoever turns faster will be able to point the nose at the opponent first, thus gaining the opportunity to launch missiles. However, the pilots in West Germany believed that the flight control of the MiG-29 was very poor. It was mechanically and hydraulically driven, and there was no computer-assisted control at all. Moreover, the avionics of the MiG-29 are also very backward, not as good as those of the Su-27. The radar has a short range, the accuracy is not enough, and the downward detection capability is limited. The MiG-29 is better at flying speed and can reach Mach 2.3. But for this speed and maneuverability, the MiG-29 was equipped with 2 RD-33 engines, which greatly reduced the range. However, the Ukrainian Air Force is fighting local air defense operations, and there is no need or capability for long-distance combat. In this case, the MiG-29 can be regarded as able to make use of its strengths and avoid its weaknesses. It is worth mentioning that, as a frontline fighter, the MiG-29 has the ability to take off and land on bad runways. At present, Ukraine's infrastructure is seriously damaged, and exactly this kind of fighter is needed. The Ukrainian Air Force has begun using JDAM, recently confirmed by Yuri Ignat, the Speaker of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. He praised this satellite-guided bomb for its high precision and said it was extremely successful in striking important targets in the Russian army. However, Ignat also said that because of the suppression of the Russian Air Force, the maximum power of the JDAM could not be exerted. The fighter jets of the Ukrainian Air Force are not only suppressed by the Russian ground-air defense network, but also by Russian fighter jets, especially the R-77 and R-37M air-to-air missiles equipped by Russia, which pose a deadly threat to the Ukrainian fighter jets, which were forced to operate at low or even ultra-low altitudes. This means that even if the extended-range JDAM-ER is mounted, since it cannot be used at high altitudes, the range of the JDAM-ER will be greatly reduced. It will not reach the maximum range of 45 miles, and it can only attack the frontline command of the Russian army. Such short-range targets cannot strike deeper rear targets. Although the Ukrainian Air Force is subject to various restrictions and cannot give full play to the range advantage of the JDAM, the arrival of the bomb still greatly improves the strike capability of the Ukrainian army. The lightest JDAM is 500 pounds. In contrast, the M31 series of guided rockets launched by the M142 HIMARS has a warhead of only 200 pounds. The Russia-Ukraine war showed that, although the Ukraine was weaker, the large amount of munitions caused huge losses to the Russian army. Given the limited number of guided artillery rounds and guided rockets in stock in the West and the fact that production capacity cannot be increased rapidly, it is a good choice to provide the Ukrainian army with cheap and guided JDAM. The NATO Standard Ordinary Aerial Bomb is equipped with a JDAM kit, and it will be transformed into a precision bomb guided by GPS and inertial guidance. The latest improvement also adds a laser seeker, which can hit the target more accurately and avoid the GPS signal being blocked in the final stage. In the most accurate mode, JDAM bombs can achieve a circular error probability, CEP, of 5 meters or less. The JDAM kit can be applied to bombs ranging from 500 to 2,000 pounds, with a glide range of up to 15 miles. The extended range JDAM-ER adds a foldable wing in the middle of the body, and the maximum gliding distance is increased to 45 miles. The JDAM kit is welcomed by many countries, having been sold to more than 30 countries because it can upgrade ordinary aerial bombs to precision bombs with lower cost. In order to suppress Russia, the U.S. media recently reported that U.S. is helping Ukraine modify jets that can launch AIM-120 medium-range air-to-air missiles. AIM-120 will make Russian fighter jets more cautious to enter Ukraine's airspace. Since acquiring the Norwegian Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile System, NASAMS, Ukraine has received a batch of AIM-120 missiles. The most important thing is that the AIM-120 and Soviet fighter issues must be resolved. The problem of radar compatibility allows missiles and aircraft to communicate. The AIM-120 is the fourth-generation medium-range air-to-air missile after the AIM-7 Sparrow. A single-piece directional warhead, it flies faster than previous missiles and is smaller and lighter, making it more effective against low-altitude targets. The range of different models is also different. The range of the AIM-120C series is about 65 miles, and the range of the AIM-120D is increased to 100 miles. The weight of the warhead is 44 pounds. In response to the AIM-120, the Soviet Union developed the R-77 active radar-guided medium-range air-to-air missile in the 1990s, which is the current main medium-range air-to-air missile of the Russian Air Force. The R-77 uses a rare mesh grid fins, which has high maneuverability, but the air resistance of this tail is relatively large, resulting in faster speed decay. The latest model has a maximum range of 68 miles. The R-37M missile only entered service in 2019. It is the ace of Russia's long-range air-to-air missiles, with a range of more than 93 miles, the longest known at 247 miles, and a maximum flight speed close to Mach 6. Of course, such a missile is also huge, weighing more than 1,320 pounds and being 13 feet 9 inches long. Only the Su-35, Su-57, and MiG-31 can carry it. Both R-77 and R-37M missiles were found on the Ukrainian battlefield, some of which apparently fell out of control, and the missile body was very complete. This also provided an opportunity for Western countries to understand Russian missiles. Okay, that's my talk today. Please continue to pay attention to MASA military, and see you next time.